Welcome to Tech Talk, your go-to guide for making technology work for you. Whether you're running a growing business or just trying to keep things running smoothly at home, we've got IT covered. USIT Systems brings the knowledge, experience, and solutions you need to stay connected, protected, and productive. It's Tech Talk time. Here's your host, Cabo Jim.
Welcome to Tech Talk again. We've got Ken Johnson from USIT Systems with us once again, and today we're going to talk a little bit about AI, right?
Well, AI is the big buzzword, and after the last podcast, I put it out there, and that was the number one comment I got back was, talk to us about AI and what AI is all about. So,
and there's a lot that AI can do, right? There's
a lot it can do, and there's a lot that it can't do, and so I want to clarify some of that. You know, as far as a lot of the misinformation out there. Yeah, so that's where I want to start.
Okay, well, let's start off by, I guess, first addressing the types of AI that are out there, because there are a lot of different types of AI.
Well, and there's types by function, but let's talk about type by capability first. You've got narrow AI, which is the parts and pieces that are there for specific functions. And then you've got much more intelligent AI or strong AI. And currently that's still theoretical because strong AI is not implemented in any way, shape, or form. The strong AI is where you've got a machine making decisions. And right now, those decisions are still in human hands. The humans come along and they say, all right, if this happens, then this happens. So basically, AI is nothing but a bunch of if, then, else statements. So if this is true, then do this, or else go on to the next question. And so that is what narrow AI is, and narrow AI is what we have today. And you see that with predictive text when you try to text somebody with your cell phone. And when you're doing that, the narrow AI comes along and it suggests what the next thing is going to be. It's your thermostat. Hey, every day at 2:00 in the afternoon, you turn the temperature down 2 degrees. Would you like me to make that automatic for you? And so that's narrow AI, and that's what we have right now. And then the next step is super intelligent AI, and super intelligent AI is what everybody's afraid of. And there's a lot of ethical and moral questions out there, but we don't have super intelligent AI out there. I haven't seen Arnold Schwarzenegger walking down the street and going, "I'd be back," but it's the different levels there. So now, if you'll humor me, we'll go on to functionality, and let me grab my glasses so that I make sure that I talk intelligently. By function, if we're just talking within narrow AI, which we have today, by function, we have reactive AI. It responds to specific input, but lacks memory and learning capability. So a game that you have on your phone that you're playing against a computer, that's a reactive AI. Words with friends, when you do a solo game with it, you're dealing with reactive AI because the AI is actually responding to your input and playing a game against you. Okay? Limited memory AI learns from historical data. This is in past experience. This is your thermostat. This is self-driving cars. These are the chatbots that are on there, and you can implement these chatbots in a business environment. You can implement these chatbots in all kinds of environment, And that limited memory AI, again, is a narrow AI. It's task specific. And then the next level it gets up is what's called theory of mind. And that's future AI models are expected to understand human emotions and intentions and interactions. But at this point, that's all still very experimental. A number of the Asian countries are out there and doing that and implementing it because of the aging population. They're looking at AI robots, basically, that can understand the needs of the aging population and provide services for that aging population. So that activity is coming along quickly and being implemented. And then the last piece of the puzzle is the self-aware AI, and that's still totally theoretical.
So, as an individual, as a business owner, how do I decide where and how or what type of AI to use?
Well, if you listen to the last podcast, I'm going to tell you that I am not an expert in all these fields. Nobody is. But I've got access to a little over 400 experts out there. So what you're going to do is you're going to decide what you're trying to achieve. You've got to define your pain point, what it is in your business that you want to implement and automate, and what those points are. Everybody wants to call in at 7:00 at night to pay their bill because they got home from work, and I've got a small medical office, and I don't want to staff at 8:00 at night. I was talking to a doctor yesterday that I'm working with, and the doctors told me that in town there are 5 independent medical offices left. All the rest of them have been bought up and bought out and are part of a major hospital group. And that hospital group implements all the technology. And he says, how do I implement some of this technology to compete and stay independent? And so that's what I did, is I set a meeting with him to sit down and identify what he wants to automate. And that's the first piece you've got to do, is decide what you want to automate. Okay. Second piece of the puzzle is to quantify the cost versus the value. And that value can be a complete return on investment, where you turn around and you say it's going to cost X number of dollars to implement it. It's going to save me X number of man hours a month or a year or a week or whatever. And that is going to be a labor savings of such and such, or it's going to reduce errors in data entry or errors in implementation. So what are you trying to fix? And then what's the cost versus the value? The next piece of it is the hard piece. And that's to choose your model. Are you trying to directly monetize whatever you're implementing? Or are you trying to just collect data for independent activity like, sales information and predictive sales information? And AI is excellent at doing the predictive sales. I've got a car dealership that I've been working with over the last 18 months or so. And that car dealership is looking at what cars are selling in new and used. They are also looking at who's buying in new and used, and they're looking at those demographics, and they're making predictions based on the demographics, so who they're going to market and advertise to. They're also making predictions on what vehicles they need in both the new and used markets to have on the lot in order to get people to sell. And car buying has changed. I mean, when you and I were kids, we went out and we went to a car lot and we walked around and looked at what cars were there. Well, that's not the game anymore. Now everybody goes online and they look at what cars are available at what dealership, and then they decide what dealership to go to and put their hands on it. So the entire experience has totally changed, and AI can predict that experience and predict what people are doing and predict what you need to have as a retailer to get the job done.
Interesting. So now, as a smaller business, for one of your examples, you can now more or less compete with some of the bigger people because you've got some of that technology, you've got some of that knowledge without having to go out and spend money on a whole new department, right?
Correct. And I'm gonna say anything that you're implementing with AI, I'm gonna tell you, start small. Do a pilot operation and start very, very small. Do not try to implement this broad sweeping change throughout your operation. Start small. I want to process, I want to change my phone system up. I want to have it set up so that when people call in, that they can pay their bill directly over the phone. Boom, that's it. I don't want to do anything else. I just want to do that. Next step. Okay, what time of day do people pay their bill? Well, they pay their bill at 7:42 p.m. 80% of the people pay their bill then. Okay, that's great. Now I want to send out my invoices at 6:45 at night to remind them that they got to pay their bill, and they'll go pay their bill in an hour. So you can start off with, I want to do one thing, then I want to implement another thing, and then I want to step up and step up. And it is start small and move up very slowly. Do not try to throw everything to the wolves.
That's great advice, because like you said, with anything, you want to make sure it's working. You want to make sure it's doing what you want it to be doing. And then, you want to make sure it's helping your business at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's the parts and pieces to implementing it. Now, what questions have you got for me?
Well, I mean, I guess, there's a lot of different AI out there. It seems like every program I have right now has an AI element attached to it.
Absolutely.
Do I need to be using all that, or am I picking and choosing where I'm using it?
I'm going to tell you to pick and choose, because every search engine has got some AI. Well, what is that AI doing? It's predictive AI. So that predictive AI is directing you to where they want you to go, not necessarily where you want to go. So as you go through and you engage that AI, understand that engagement is predicting based on past experience. Now, I know you, and I know you very well. You and I have been interacting for 15, 20 years now. And so I know that you do not keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. You constantly are changing. You're constantly looking at new ways to implement things. You're constantly looking to grow as a person and in technology. You've never been stagnant. And that's really key. And a lot of this AI and predictive AI is pushing people to be stagnant and doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, which is the definition of insanity. So I don't like all the predictive AI. Is it good for my thermostat? Yeah, okay. I kind of like it predicting my thermostat. Is it good for me doing research on particular information and technologies? Not necessarily. The AI model may know that I've looked at a particular phone system in the past, So when I ask the next question of which phone system that I sell does call center implementation, it's going to come back and recommend the specific one that I've looked at in the past instead of giving me all of my options. I don't like having options restricted. The other piece that is out there with the AI is healthcare prediction, and I really, when I'm looking for a doctor, I don't want to have the doctor recommended as only the doctor that I've seen in the past. I may be looking for a different situation, a different product, a different specialty. Same with a dentist. I may be at my age, I'm looking for a dentist that specializes in implants instead of just doing standard fillings. But the AI knows that I talked to Dr. I'm trying to think of the doctor's name from Little Shop of Horrors, but I'm looked at that doctor in the past, so it's going to recommend that doctor only. And those are the things that bother me about AI and what you're implementing. So as you engage it, it can be helpful and useful, but it can also be restrictive.
And it's only as smart as, it's a learning tool. It's only as smart as the information somebody is putting into it and interacting with. Can it help, come up with different ideas in certain situations, but it's limited in the fact that it's only the information that's been out there already or that they found. Or
limited memory AI learns from historical data and past experiences to inform decisions. And that's the key.
Absolutely.
That's what we've got right now. Theory of mind, it's still experimental and not there yet. I'm really glad that if I go in for surgery, that there's a human making the decision of whether that part needs to be removed or not.
Right? Yep. Yeah. I'll leave it up to a computer.
Yeah, I don't want to leave it up to the computer.
So and there's a lot of different AI in the fact that, a lot of people offer it, but on the other hand, like you mentioned, there's competition. People want you to use their platform and their version of AI. They don't talk to each other, right?
They really don't. It's called market differentiation, and we've all experienced it for many, many years. So, it's not universal where everybody's talking to everybody. You got Perplexity, you got ChatGPT, you got Grok. There's all these different pieces out there, and each of these companies want to sell their backbone, their program, their tools, their machine learning. They want to sell that to XYZ phone company, ABC data analytical company, all the rest of it. Now, I'm gonna tell you, everybody knows Salesforce. Salesforce is the big monster in the room. There's a company in Europe that used an AI set of tools. I'm not going to promote one or another, to write a competitive program specific for their company and replaced their Salesforce program with this very targeted management system for managing their leads and all of their technology. So that is, a huge disruption to the industry being able to do something like that. In Orlando, there's a gentleman I know who has written a marketing program in order to take and he used AI to write this program in order to take and do direct mail marketing exceptionally targeted for some very specific industries so that industry can turn around and look at their database of past customers, predict what customers they should be selling to, go out on the internet, find those customers, find those contacts, find those email addresses, and turn around and send a direct mail campaign out to those existing customers, and another direct mail campaign to the prospective customers, and a third direct mail campaign to customers that haven't bought from them for 90 days, 180 days, 365 days. And so this was all done and written with AI with a very, very minimal financial cost to get it implemented. And they just rolled it out, about a month, 6 weeks ago.
Wow. So, I mean, there are some good things that AI is doing, but, again, I guess I warn you, much like the media, they're going to filter and they're going to push people in the direction of what benefits them as a company, providing that AI, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you've got to pick and choose, and you've got to be aware. And I don't remember who the quote was, but of the many truths, if you pick one and follow it blindly, it will become a falsehood and you will become a fanatic. So there's a lot of truths out there. Look at all of them.
Yep.
Look at all of them.
Make your own decision. End of the day.
Make
there
your
we
own
go.
decision.
Well, very good. Any last words for our listeners today?
Yeah, if you see Arnold Schwarzenegger walking down the street, with saying "I'll be back," be afraid. But so far, we're not out there. We haven't got self-aware AI. Everything out there is still limited memory AI and predictive AI. So it's theory of mind is coming. The Asian countries are way ahead of the U.S. in implementing that, but it's coming, and I think that's an area that is going to absolutely mushroom in the future. When I think nursing, wouldn't you? How would you feel about having a robot be able to deliver the food trays? How would you feel about the robot being able to solve minor problems like I drop the call button from the side of the bed and have a robot come in and pick up the call button and hand it to you? I think that's going to be theory of mind implementation. I think medical is huge in that area, but it's not there yet. Limited memory AI. We've got there's a company out there called Miso that, in my experience as a young man, running the fryer is the absolute worst job in any fast food restaurant. And Miso has come up with a AI machine that cooks the French fries or whatever else is in the deep fryer and removes the human element from that, which increases safety from burns, which increases efficiency and consistency of the product coming out. And there's that whole area is absolutely exploding.
Wow,
absolutely
the AI fry guy. There we go. We gotta love it.
AI fry guy. It's called Miso.
Does the jobs you don't want to do, right?
That's the job you don't want to do. And there's a lot of jobs that you don't want to do or that are dangerous. And I mean, I look at oil fields and I look at the danger involved in that. I worked on airbag explosives, and I saw a guy in the powder room when a flash happened in the powder room, and the guy got burned. I mean, putting a robot in the powder room, that if the flash happens and the robot gets hurt, you put another one in there and send that one out for repair. So, I think there's so many areas that are dangerous that AI can be implemented, and it would be great. I just think that would be huge.
Very good. We can only hope, right? Let's hope it goes in the right
It's
direction.
coming. It's not even hope anymore, Jim. They're coming. It's out there. Now, are they going to be able to lay bricks? Maybe, but are they going to be able to make human decisions? Maybe. So the people out there that are the ones that have to make decisions to make sure that the structure is complete, to make sure that everything is intact. Those are all things that those are jobs that are not going to go to AI.
Very good. Very good. Well, Ken, again, I appreciate your time today and your knowledge. It's been a pleasure getting to know a little bit more about AI as we continue to move forward. But I guess we'll see you next time. I don't know if we have a topic pick for next time, but I'm sure.
I'm gonna ask people to comment and send in there. What do you want to hear about? And we can pull in experts from other fields too, in order to address some of this. But I've had a couple of requests for another topic. But let's see what the response is when I post up this video.
Very good. Very good. Well, Ken, again, pleasure. Thank you for your time today, and we will see you out there soon.
Always a pleasure, Jim. Take care now.
That's it for this episode of Tech Talk, where we've got IT covered so you can keep life and business running smoothly. Remember, whether it's cybersecurity, cloud solutions, or just keeping your tech trouble-free, USIT Systems is here to help. Visit us online at usitsystems.com or give us a call at 407-753-4499. Stay safe, stay connected, and we'll catch you on the next Tech Talk.